is Hasna, Nauroh, Salsabila from the Accounting Information System Study Program, Faculty of Information Technology. Here I will present material about the hardware and malicious computer. Hardware. One definition of hardware. Hardware is one component of a computer that is the nature of its tools can be seen and touched directly or in the form of real, which serves to support the computerization process. Hardware can work based on predetermined command available to him or what is also referred to by the term instruction set. With a command that can be understood by the hardware, then the hardware can perform a variety of activities that have been determined by the command. 2. Kind of hardware. Basically, the computer consists of several components that consist of a system. Systems are the components that work together to form a union in one component file, which result in a function of executing process with a good computer. The computer components are included in the category of hardware element. Based on the function, the computer hardware is divided into 1. Input device or input unit. 2. Process device or processing unit. 3. Output device or output unit. 4. Packing storage or storage unit. 5. Peripheral or additional unit. 1. Input device. This unit serves as a medium for data entry from offset to insert a memory and a processor for processing in order to produce the required information. Equipment direct input. The input is entered direct processed by the processing equipment. For example, keyboard, mouse, touchscreen, like pen, digital graphic tablet, scanner. Equipment indirect input. Input via a particular media before an input is processed by the processing equipment. For example, punch card, floppy disk, hard drive. 2. Process device. The brain was a computer processing unit. This processing unit is called a CPU, Central Processing Unit. The function of the CPU is the processor and the data processor to generate the necessary information. When the computer, microprocessing unit called a microprocessor, are in the form of processor chip, are composed of thousands to millions of ICs. The main function of the CPU works with arithmetic and logic again. The data contained in the memory or interstruct, the insert unit like keyboard, scanner, or joystick. Output device. Computer output device is a device that is useful for generating an output such as drawing, paper, hard copy, sound, etc. An example of the output device is a printer, speaker, monitor, etc. Okay, next, backing storage. Backing storage, also called backup storage, is storing all information in a non-active in computer. Is distinguished by a. Serial storage access. For example, tape drive. B. Direct access. For example, magnetic disk or hard drive, floppy disk, CD or DVD room drive, and so on. Peripheral. Peripheral enhancement that is installed on a computer to further utilize computer. There are classes device as input device, processor, and output device. Conclusion hardware. Computer hardware is all the physical part of the computer which are distinguished by the data its content or operate on and the software that provided instruction for the hardware to complete your duties. Boundaries between hardware and software is a little blurry. Firmware is software that is built into the hardware. This firmware is an area of computer programmer and computer engineering, and users do not need to pay attention to this section. Okay, next guys, malware. What is malware? Malware is software that gets into the system without user consent to steal the user private and confidential data. including bank detail and password. They also generate annoying pop-up ads and make change in system setting. They get into the system through various means, along with free download, clicking on a suspicious link, opening email from malicious source, visiting malicious website, not installing an updated version of antivirus in the system. Table of malware. 1. Virus. Computer virus refer to a program which damages computer system and or destroy or erase data file. A computer virus is a malicious program that self-replicates by copying itself to another program. In other words, the computer virus spreads by itself into other executable, code, or document. The purpose of creating a computer virus is to infect vulnerable systems, gain admin control, and steal user-sensitive data. Hackers design computer virus with malicious intent and prey on online users by tricking them. Table of computer virus. 1. Parasitic, propagated by attention itself to particular file or program. 2. Boot sector, spread with infected floppy or pen drive used to boot the computer. 3. Polymorphic, chain is typed with each infection and create multiple copies. Memory resident, install code in the computer memory, get active for operating system run and they make a file open at the time. Cell has its part after infection, it modifies itself henceforth to detect and makes the size of infected file. Macro. When opening the infect document, macrovirus is loaded into main memory and destroy the data stored in hard disk. As attached with documents spread with those infected documents only. Hybrid. Features of various virus are combined. For example, virus email. Worm. A worm is a destructive program that fills a computer system with self-replicating information, locking the system so that its operations are slowed down or stopped. Table of worm. Email worm. Attention to fake email message. Instant message worm. Via instant message application using low plus in network. Internet worm. Scan system using a service. Internet relay chat or IRC worm. Transfer infected file to website. File delete on encrypt file. Install backdoor creating zombie. Worm with good intent. Download application patch. Logical bomb. A logical bomb is a descriptive program that performs an activity when a certain action had occurred. These are hidden in programming code. Executes only when a specific condition is met. Trojan or backdoor. Trojan horse is a decryptive program. It's usually present as computer game or application software. If executed, the computer system will be damaged, hence difficult to detect through antivirus. This can use manual removal of rootkits. Rootkit is a collection of tools that allow an attacker to take control of a system. Can be used to hide evidence of an attacker present and give them backdoor access. Can contain load cleaner to remove tracker of attacker. Advanced precedent treat. Create well-found organized group, nation-state actor, designed to compromise government and commercial entities. For example, FLAME, used for reconnaissance and information gathering of system. Spyware and adware normally get installed along with free software downloads based on the end user attempt to redirect the user to specific sites, maintains behavioral surveillance and advertising with pop-up ads slow down the system. Conclusion in malware. In conclusion, malware includes significant risk to both individual and organization. Recurring protective makes sure for protection and removal, utilizing a combination of antivirus and anti-malware. Tool with software update can effective protect system, while detective and removing malware can be time-consuming and costly. The benefit of enhanced security, data protection, and increased productivity. That's all my presentation. Thank you for listening and see you later.